Green light, go, go, go. Hello. Thank you for telling me that. Yeah, I am. I was speaking. Uh, and hopefully, yeah, you OBS getting it now. Thank you, chat. So thank you, Hobo and School. So I was explaining that I am setting up asymmetric camber for this track because you can see the left hand tires have much less wear difference between the outside and the inside. And the right hand tires, especially at the rear, you can see like left is like 3 difference, the right is 8. So with setting up asymmetric cambers, so the right hand tires are flatter, they are not riding on the edge that much, we get a bit better tire life all around, also a bit better, a lot better traction in the right hand corners, and just a tiny bit less traction on the left hand corners. Yeah, I like Brands Hatch. Also, the Porsche is decent here, I guess. I don't know what's the BOP. I guess. Let me check. Again, muted. Why? mm, OBS says it goes through. Kippy. Let me restart OBS. Just give me a second. Okay, I'm back. And hopefully it is better. So I will restart the... So hopefully it will be better now. Sorry for those, and thank you for telling me. That's very useful feedback. Brands Hatch 101 pace is 1325. The 992 101 place is 13 flat. But the car has minus 22 BOP on this track, so it's a bit weak here. That's no, minus 15. Yeah, it's a bit weak. Misano is a very good track. I also like that. Watkins Glen, I was not fond of it initially, but I missed the race, but ERA had a long race on, no, a hot race on Watkins Glen, and I practiced it a lot. And I went to like below 101 race pace, and it really grew on me. Yeah. Yes, I have a Discord. Give me a sec. Issue is I don't have the link on my streaming laptop, so I have to connect it via TeamViewer. Yeah, I should put my Discord link onto this channel, but I always forget. There you go. That's my Discord. You can contact me there. Usually I answer questions there too, but it's not too active. Setup. So asymmetric to have better tire life and much better right hand corners. traction and just a bit less left-hand corner traction, because left-hand corners, there's 3 left-hand corners and all of them are second gear, like this one, and this one. These are slow corners compared to these are fast corners. So you get the outside of the right-hand tires with the symmetrical camber have much less use, and this way you just use more rubber and have better traction. My other issue was out of corner rotation, so I increased the bump stop rate a lot and decreased the bump stop range a lot. I also let the car dive more for better, well, let's see, just we will check that, for better fast corner off throttle rotation, but I decreased the rear rake to have less fast on brake rotation, so it won't be as snappy. And I also will try like lower brake bias because of these changes. Also, I think I will just blindly add a bit less diving, and I will check the dampers later in Motec just to get a general feel of these changes. So, but I will check the tire life, tire pressures in Motec to show you. Give me a sec. Loading. Is the microphone good now? So no skipping. Sounds okay. So rear pressures were basically perfect. Like this was the front ones. And why the rear ones? You would think the rear left. Thank you, nerd. For the rear ones, you would think the rear left has under pressure, but if you check the whole timeline, you can see that we had 2 pressure loss. The left is okay, but for the right, that means we have overpressure. So that means we have to decrease the rear right by 2. That will give us basically very good tire pressures. So this one -2 and save it. And let's take a few laps with these changes, because I changed a lot of things half blindly. Let's brake boost a little bit for warming up the brakes, so they warm the tires faster. So in 992 you can see the exact temperatures of the brakes there. So theoretically we should have sort of same rotation for slow speed corners, but a bit better rail braking rotation. And for the high speed it should be around the same of the off throttle. a bit less under braking and a bit more under throttle. I change the balance this way. The off throttle is just a guess. It will be the same because I have less rake, but my bump stops are more free at the front and more restricting at the rear. And with very low rear anti-roll bar, the car can lean onto the bump stops at the rear. Or maybe it was. So far it felt worse in that regard. The on throttle is much better. Car rotates better. The on brake slow is better too. But the tires are still not up to the pressure completely, so a bit early to judge. And on brake seems much more stable. Yeah, on throttle is way better. You can see I gain a lot of time there, just because I can rotate out of the corner with throttle, not having too much understeer. Rail braking is still a bit meh. What I will do now, which is sure, I will decrease the front rear rate, the springs, see how much it makes the best rear braking carry, because otherwise that would be really beneficial for all the other issues I feel with the car. Currently we are a bit understeering, but very stable. Five, 6. Is 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, the too fast. Yeah. For those you need a good turning point, a lot of stability, high speed stability, and generally what helps, you can see my inputs, is not brake fully, so you have to feel how much brake you can give the car. Basically rotate it with light rail braking, like this. For this one you can brake harder and release it to have a slight snap with the Porsche, but I don't like to drive the Porsche that way. Also I tend to set up to not have that snap brake release, because that really kills the rear tires. I'll do one more lap. I'm much slower due to having a lot of understeer. There are a few exits where it helps. I mean, the exit is not understeering, but otherwise the setup is much more understeering now. But I will try to make a decent lap now. Still understeers the road, although I was on the throttle a bit earlier than I should have. But with better rotation I could be on the throttle that early. But this corner is much more stable on the entry. Also no snapping here. And I still have to fully get the hang of the car and the track. For turn 1, I brake at this whitening on the tarmac. It's not always good to use rubbering on the track for brake markers, but that's just a very good preference. Let me try to do it that one. And it's the same as like turn 5, you have to be very cautious on the throttle because you are rotating the car while slowing down, and it's in the high speed. So with the Porsche, it's just always tricky. Let me check Montec again for a few things. Tire pressures were okay. Fronts are a bit over pressured. So -2 and -1. You can see it here if you want to. We'll save the setup meanwhile. Also, I will check the dampers. Yeah, they are not bad. We have a bit too much bump at the front, and the rears are a bit flat, but it's not bad. Nothing serious. If I use more laps, yeah, it's the same. Suspension travel, we basically almost never use the front bump stops, which is okay because otherwise the car has stability. Also, we have a bit of a cutoff at the rear. Here you can see, but during driving I did not feel this. So we are not having that harsh bottoming out, which upsets the car so much that you have issues. Also, these bottoming outs can help rotate it even. Not that big of an issue. I'm not worrying about it. Also, it only happens in a few places. And in those places, I am basically driving straight, mostly. Yes. Because it happens here. I give you the track map. Happens here. This is a straight part. Happens here. This is the another straight G out, and after turn 1, it's in the straight again. So these, while car is bottoming out the rear, it does not affect anything because we are at cornering. So as I said, I will try to decrease the front wheel rate a bit. This means the car can dive a bit more. So we have better rotation in the slow speed, especially. Also, it means the front springs are not pushing the car back to squatting during acceleration, so we will have better on throttle rotation out of the corner. Otherwise, I said we have a bit too much bump at the front. I would say try rather give some rebound, so it will be more balanced, but we don't have more dive in the high speed part. Also, I will just increase the rear dampers a bit more and won't touch the ride height yet because the front spring will affect the dynamic ride height a lot. That's more than enough changes for this iteration. So I was stupid enough and saved it to the Evo 1 probably. Never mind. So brake boosting. Also I will decrease the brake bias even more, like 49.2. I can still increase it back during driving, so that's fine. Okay. It does rotate better. Also we had a bit overinflated tires at the front in the last session. That did not help in the slow speed cornering part, definitely. Oops, I was checking the chat. High speed was fine, and we still have very low tire pressures. Avoid this curve while we don't have much tires. Rotate a bit too nicely. I was overslowing the car because I thought I have to rotate slower. Nice. You can see I gained a lot of time out of that corner. Much better exit speed and because I could be on the throttle much earlier. Still have low tire pressure, so high speed part is a bit meh, but that could change a lot. And the tires are in the proper pressures, because for high speed you beneficially have more pressure. The tire walls are more supportive when they are in the upper in the pressure window. Hey there, thank you, I'm fine, and you? Yeah, it rotates much better in the slow part and accelerates decently. DC kicks in a bit more due to having less traction by less squatting, and also the rear dampers are different, so we have less squat of that also. Still miss high-speed rotation. So usually I try to aim to have a similar trajectory and behavior while posting and while on the throttle. So when you see you rotated the car enough, you start to accelerate, and the car will basically stay on the same trajectory. That makes it very predictable to drive. And right now I don't have as much high-speed exit rotation as I would like. The mid to low speed is fine, like here. Car really shoots out of the corner. But in this turn 5, I guess, just I brake, rotate, and when I on the throttle it just understeers. It does not give the same trajectory as much as I would like. Okay, it's good on the bumps. Now I broke later because I broke early in the last few laps. Now I overshot the corner too. Although I could do the nice V shape and not lose that much time, like 2/10, But that corner is very good, except I hit the bump at the rear, but at the exit, but it was a driving issue. So this is where, yeah, it's a bit better now, with pressure. Really shoots out of that corner. Very satisfying. Just have to sort out these high speed on throttle rotation issues. While not screwing in the turn-in stability. Alright, what I will do, first I check the Motec again. So, front bump stops are still not working much. The rear ones are the same, so we basically drive on them a lot. The dampers are fine. A bit less data if I send it to 3-4 laps. You can see we have a bit too much bump dampening at the front, slow bump, but otherwise it's really close to the same distribution, so the tires are contacting the tarmac as much as they can. Very good. Tire pressures are basically perfect at the front. This is 3 laps, don't forget. And at the rear, while we had the pressure loss, if you count that +2 the rest of the laps, it's basically perfect. The pressures are really set. I would not touch the dampers a lot. I will check as you can see, this was the last session or few laps. We used 2 at the front and 3 at the rear. I mean, the difference from the inside to the outside. We use the left much more, that's true. And at the rear we have 3 difference there and just 5 now. It was 8, so we decreased it a lot. We still use the left tires much more, but they are more symmetrically used. What I will do is decrease both rear camber by 1. Definitely. And I will try even less front wheel rate. And maybe a bit more rear bump stop rate. Yeah, let's try this. Hopefully this won't make the car too unstable to the fast corners, because we don't have that much support from the springs at the front. But the bumpers are working a lot, so they are probably won't be that snappy still. Let's see. Also the rear less camber would make the car rotate a bit more, because we don't have that much rotating traction there, but not always that simple. By the way, someone wrote a German comment many minutes ago. I'm sorry, I don't speak German. My name is just a joke, basically. Oops. I rather not try to save it too harshly and go slowly to the off from the track, because my tires are very low pressures and I did not want to lose pressure. Also, it was just my outlap, so there's still warming up a lot. We are under 16 on the left. It does dive a bit more suddenly due to less front torque. but the tires are still not up to pressure, so it's too early to judge anything. Still a bit cautious on the curbs, do not have pressure loss yet. The lower the tire pressure, the easier they lose pressure, because the tires are not pushing to the rim, that steering blade, the edge of the tires. I mean, the air is not pushing the tires to the rim. So they move much, so you can squeeze them more. I have a very big spreadsheet that would give you all the answers. Just give me a sec. It would be kind enough to copy it. Yes, there you go. That will give you all the answers you need in this topic. And even more. But by the way, those are not horrible times. Not at all. If those are consistent times, that's decent for big lobby racing, things like that. So nothing to worry about. But there's a lot of improvement you can do, like 3 seconds on both track, which is easier on Spa, because basically that's a faster track, so 3 seconds as a percentage is not as big improvement as on Nürburgring. Oh yeah, and the percentages are 100 is basically alien pace, 101 is like very competitive league racing pace, or split league racing, 102 is like you can win public lobbies easily with 102 race pace. You can be very competitive on LFM, for example. 103 to 4 is good for racing in mid-pack, and 6 to 7 is like the baseline where you should start racing online somewhat seriously and still have decent races at the rear, mid-rear. But I always say when you race public lobbies online that race for good fights, clean fights, not for winning. And that's basically a much better mentality and will give you much more enjoyable sessions. Like you would just let someone go if he's much faster and he does not want to fight you, he starts to get annoyed, things like that. Or if someone is just an idiot, you leave him be, let him crash, and you just continue racing with the normal guys. Okay, I should concentrate on driving. Not like that. Overshot it. Somehow the last iteration was faster, while I feel faster with this one. Could it be that we have too much bottoming out at the front due to very low ring rate? Would not be surprised, this is a sort of bumpy track. Or I just have too much low speed rotation? Maybe. Let me try then. Get more rotation with more toward the front and less toward the rear. Basically, that's less to front and rear, but we were positive in the front. And not touch the other things, because level 2 was faster, noticeable than 3, and while I got nice rotation in level 3, it was just slowing down due to more sliding or bottoming out. Let's try a different approach. Yeah, that rear toe is just a bit too much. Not enough. Come on. it this way then. Or rather this way. So more slow speed, less high speed rotation. By the way, this is basically the part of making the setup when the car feels nice to drive. And I just try to extract free pace from it. And sometimes things work that way here, like for my skill level, a bit more understeer, more stable setup is faster than having more rotation, because I just cannot control the rotation enough. Probably I could with enough practice, maybe, I don't know. But I always bear in mind that mostly guys with same or a bit less skill than me use these setups, so I tend to keep them on the stable side. So the raw pace potential is a bit lower than a very edgy setup, but you can basically reach it and do it consistently easier and for a longer session. Like I usually try to save the tires in the rear, things like those. So it's always a balancing act between making a fast setup and making a stable setup. Vagalis, I have a Steam guide. Just search owner speed on Steam. You will find me. I have two guides, one for the VR and one for my setups. And I basically gave all those one-clicks for different issues in a table or in a list. And like for every type of issue, I gave 3, 4, 5 options, and they should do those in the order I listed it. So those are for fine-tuning the setup for your individual taste. Skill issue? Yeah, I have that one. There's no clicks for skill issue. There's only hours of practice for skill issue and of course talent, but that's given at your birthday. So you should complain for those at your parents, sorry. Let me try to do a decent-ish lap, see how fast is set up compared to the level 2, which is somehow with more understeer is still the fastest. Like much faster. That is weird. Let's try that Evo 2 setup again. Just what pedal set do you use, Vagalis? Okay, so that's a load set pedal, okay. What my suggestion would be is if you brake too hard, first thing you should check is to calibrate your pedal for your leg force, basically. So you should set the pedal, the load cell, as high as where you can hit that pressure or like comfortably, so it would not tire you for driving like 2 hours straight. For that, the easiest way is to just apply a decent amount of pressure, which is still comfortable for you. So this would be your maximum braking pressure, and set the load cell percentage so that you have that pressure at 100%. And with that, you would have the biggest physical range for your pedal to your legs. The other approach is to set up the 80% pressure to a very repetitive and comfortable level. Like, close your eyes, push the brake as hard as you would think that would be good for 80% braking. 80% is usually the braking force where without ABS you would brake around, and set the load cell so that force you push will be your 80%. I usually like the first approach 4, because unless you start to work out, that will give you the most basically dynamic range for your pedal set, for your legs. The second approach is for those who don't want to relearn braking, because with the first approach it is possible that you will be so much higher pressure that you will have to relearn how to brake. The 80% approach is for like fine-tuning for your already used taste. Okay. I hope that helps. Also, yeah, using this will first make you worse, but on the long run, you will have the potential to use as much of your braking movement or force range as you can. But blindly, I would say you have too low pressure set, so you hit the high braking forces too easily. That's why you brake too hard. Okay, this Evo 2 setup is just fast and good to drive, so only thing I will do is, apart from drive it in the closed session, try to set a nice end press lap, is to give it a bit of high speed corner exit rotation, just a tiny bit with a little bit more of rear bump stop rate. Otherwise, I'm happy with it. So, 2 clicks here. And let's try brake bias one last. Just. 50% sounds reasonable, but as I said, it's always personal preference and leg strength and what is comfortable to you. So you should have a comfortable yet high percentage. Let's try +7 maybe, and +4 at the rear. I will decrease the rear brake ducts by 1. So I can delete these. I will keep the second one just for safety. But Evo 3 is not much different from Evo 2.
Green light, go, go, go.
Let's see if I could do a 23 low, that would be great. Like 235, 234. For the liters of fuel. So BOP, the car has -15 BOP here, so it's a bit slower than the average. reaching close to 101% average top 7 time is like okay with it. Still turns in like a Porsche, so be aware that there is no such thing as completely stable Porsche, just a predictable one. Was a crap entry. But this setup is great. At least for me.
Well done, mate. This is me, your personal best.
There's a better entry and much worse mid and exit. Pressures are sort of okay. I basically nailed those blindly. Oops. Although did a lot of rotation, it was not deadly. That's always good to see. Like how it reacts for too much input.
Pardon mate, this is me, your personal best. Pardon mate, your fastest lap so far.
It was a decent lap. Try this in fourth gear. Yep, faster. That was an even more decent lap.
Pardon mate, personal best.
Would I have to leave a very tiny bit in that exit? It really killed my exit speed. Anyway, since it looks like I'm sort of finished with this one, any requests for another setup? That was a nice lap. I think I'm going to use that. Even though it's a bit slower than the... Nah, let's do that last corner a bit. I will decide later. There were a few laps were nice, like 3, 4, 5. So what's next? I should make Bathurst setup, but the track is so damn hard. Yeah, this was old. 655549. 6, 6, 5, 5, 4. That's not adding up. That was probably 5, 5. Hey Mila, I'm using SimHub and I think RSC or something like that add-on for the overlay. So if you search SimHub and SimHub overlay pack, you will get this. I think it's RSC or something like that, like 3 letters name. You will find it. Also, I don't see it, so it's not working in VR. I just put it for you guys, basically. Okay, let's use that as a base setup, like 8-wing, semi-rake, usual. I will try more front bump stops, like 28. You'll won't engage a lot. Dampers are that, so that's our baseline. Who knows how it will work? Issue is I suck at this track. I'm very bad at fast tracks, so Bathurst, sort of decent at Watkins Glen, but Bathurst is just super hard, and I cannot really go under 2 minutes. I can do 201s, sort of mid-high 201s, usually easily. Car wallows a lot with low tire pressures. Let's see the low tire pressure 8-wing speed. I think high 270s would be my target at the end of cornroad, so yeah, that's good. That's good. 8-wing is fine so far. Braking much earlier there would be fine too. Never mind, these few laps are for high pressures and have a basic feeling of the car. Exit oversteer is bad. So I definitely need much more rotation there. Much more. Slight of oversteer in the turning, but nothing horrible. Oops. And a lot of skill issues. Exit oversteer. Like that. And I think I will drive a bit more V-race front and rear. Otherwise, let's go again. Without crashing, hopefully. Come on, warm up, warm up. Very squirmy under low tire pressure. That's expectable. Give it 2 clicks of brake bias to the front. Let's see that exit rotation. Much better. Let's try to do a valid lap. Turn-in was nice and stable there. That too. Easily flat out. This one too. This one I'd like to lift a bit. Hit this corner. Even though it should be easier with VR because I can look there. It's still very hard. Like, I cannot get the feeling of it. too much. Off-road capabilities tested too. Ouch. That's a very bad luck. But at least we have a delta now. Nice and stable there. Usually that's an easy place to get on breakover still. It's a bit excessive there. I am done with the Brands Hatch, and I think I cannot change the title now. This is Brands Hatch 201 or 200, redone by the Australians. I did very nice to drive Brands Hatch setup, and drove a few 23, 3, 4 laps with it. So I thought I am happy with that. As the chat, if there's any request, no one say nothing, so I switched to the other track on the Elephant calendar currently, which is my Nemesis track, Bathurst. The track where I suck the most. That front axle wasn't happy there. It says eh. That was scary.
Well done, mate. The rest of the best.
Hey, let's check the mode. So let me check that I can edit the title. Yeah. I'm not lying anymore. Yay. Making setups. Yeah. So Motec. Thing is for me, I suck at this track. The car was decent. Like, it was stable. It was rotating. I could use a bit more low speed rotation in the before the control straight and in the last corner. Also, front tires were 1 and 4, and I did not had loss. So I will start to work with that. I'm gonna give 3 at the front right. By the way, I saw it here. And rear tires were basically perfect. 27.0 peak. That's always what I aim for. But not always, that's false, but usually. Dampers are great. I could use a bit more dampening at the rear and a bit more slow and fast rebound at the front. So I will start with that. So more dampening at the rear. And yeah, fast rebound is out of order. So 1 click off. 2 click? No. Exit rotation was okay, so 1 click. We are aiming for ghost ring and distribution as always, but not screwing up the current behavior of the car. For the last corner before conduct straight, we are not using the front bump stops. So I won't try to solve it that way. That's not the issue. The track map. That's mine. Rear bump stops are the usual. I did not feel any bouncing around, so I won't mind these hard cutoffs. I won't touch those. Basically, only thing I want is more turning at slow speed. Otherwise, everything else was skill issue, I guess. So for more turning at slow speed, I give it a tiny bit of toe at the front. And a bit hard to, like, I can lower the front wheel rate and the ride height, so I will give overall oversteer, especially while braking. But with one less ride height, I decrease the fast rotation and off-throttle rotation, so it's a bit balanced between slow and fast speed. Fast is not as affected as slow speed. And I was driving, let me do that with all the setups. I was driving 50.4. Save it with that. Also, I have to check the tires. So 50.4, and the tires were, fronts are very nice. The rear ones are meh. Let me try one less camber at the rear. So that will make the car a bit more oversteery in close parts. Brake boosting, so we have some tire pressures. Those high speed corners with low tire pressures are very, very scary. Is he on the first lap? Are getting there, sort of. We have a bit more bottom out at the front, little less springs at the front, not supporting the car up high that much. So the dynamic ride height is lower. The turning is much better though, but I will have to check the straight line P delta, like how much it changes, because if it like start to increase, I mean increase to minus or tame at the beginning of the control state, and then we will have less delta, so closer to 0. Then the bottoming out, slowing down the car. Usually that's not the case, but it happens sometimes. ACC is very forgiving with bottoming out, like no underfloor damage stimulated in the car at all. It's not slowing down that much. Also, theoretically, we should have a bit better high speed, top speed now. because the dynamic ride height is lower, which means at the front, which means it is less road dragging around. That much better than like front axle is not crying for life. Was not paying attention to the delta yet because we don't have proper tire pressure set. Let's see, we have a slight decrease in the delta. Although there was not bottoming out there. Car is much comfortable and faster in the last corner before the pond road. So I'm happy with the changes. I did not see any. Was not nice. I did not see any huge issues with the straight line speed. That huge oversteer snap was weird. I should try third gear there, probably. Second gear, but looks like over rotates the car there, engine braking. Ouch. 4 seconds of damage for that? Holy crap. That's cruel. Like, basically I barely touched the wall. Also, I will go to the cold sessions. Because the setup was nice. Except that snap oversteer, but I think that was more like I was using second gear instead of third there. Second gear is a bit excessive for the Porsche probably.
Green light, give it all you can.
The colder session should mean a lot of free time here because of the lot of straights. In the cold you have more power, like horsepower, due to the air is denser and you can push or pull in an A car more into the combustion chamber, and the ECU just detects it with the mass airflow and put in more fuel, so you have a bigger bang. Also, turbo cars have better capabilities to cool the intake air with the intercooler, so those are benefiting there. I think I heard there is some aero benefits too, like denser or colder air is less dense. Oh, that's not true. I think it's only the power. I used to. The 9.6 came out and I was a bit mad at Kunos and the Porsche that it changed and it was not driving the same I was used to. Is that I switched to the Aston V8 accidentally when I joined the RA because I did the license test with the V8 and that means I had to drive. Well, I don't have to, but I applied to the championship immediately with the V8. I thought I will be able to change it for my first race, but nope. And I was stuck with the Aston for a whole season and the car really grew on me. The Porsche is great, it's fun, it sucks at endurance races due to the rear tire degradation. I love the sound, I love how it drives, usually, but right now I enjoy front engine cars the most because I love to trail brake. I always loved to, since I know how to. And front engine cars, like, they are super satisfying to rotate them with trail braking. And while with the Porsche I do set up it for some trail braking, this car is just rear engine. By default you don't have to trail brake with it. What I would really love to drive is the Bentley. I was really thinking about driving it in the current ERA season, so that will start Monday. But half of the tracks are like tracks where you cannot give enough, or LFM could not give enough negative BOP, so 40 is the limit to the Bentley to be competitive, because it would need like 60, 70. And if I would choose that, I would just cripple myself. And the issue is, I would not mind if I would be in the platinum split, but they basically split the top split in ERA for platinum and diamond, and I will racing to the super fast guys in diamond, so I need a very competitive car to have even the slightest chance to be on the podium and things like that. So I am sticking to Aston. Also, the Aston is super fun because apart from trail braking due to front engine, that's a given, in 9.6 they give it some yaw at the rear. So you have a slightly more slip angle with the rear tires. And basically you over-rotate the car a bit, you not fully drifting, but you can feel the rear is slightly stepping out, but it still has traction, so it's not sliding. And it's very satisfying that you can feel it is more alive at the rear with that yoke. By the way, that would have been a great lap if I wouldn't screw it up in the downhill section, but I still have to learn to speak and drive properly. The Ferrari is a good car. The issue is it's a bit too good and too helpful. So for beginners, I usually not advise to drive the Ferrari. I usually advise them to drive the M4 or the Aston V8, because with those cars you have to do tail braking, more weight shifting, be a bit more like planning how you enter the corners. Just like with the Ferrari, just turn left and the car just turned left. Oops. Okay, it's sort of survived. So the Ferrari just helps to watch, and it's just too easy to drive the car. That's my issue with it. By the way, when I go back to the pits, I have the tendency to go to the setup and just back off. That way it will always give you a new set of tires. I think I'm getting a bit tired, so I do a few more laps, see how far I can push this car today. Yeah, take your time. I have a lot of M4 setups, really advise them. They are set up for very stable. Well, the M4 is very stable by default, and with those you are basically have a slight understeer, which you have to counter with rotating the car with trail braking and out of the corner with throttle. So it's not like just you slow down the car then rotate it off throttle. That would work, but they are braking into the corner, and after the apex power out rotation is much faster. Also very satisfying when you start to get the hang of it. So if the M4 is too dull, or you just hate the sound as I do, then there's the Aston, which is a bit more alive, as I said, but still needs nice proper driving techniques to drive it fast. And it sounds great. Unlike the coffee grinder straight sticks in the M4. Good choice. Well, at the worst, you just go back to the Ferrari. You have nothing to lose. Except time. But trying other cars is always a good time to take. Like, you always learn a few things. I definitely learned a lot by driving multiple cars. I'm still slow, but at least I'm slow with multiple cars. Hey Shumzi, sorry. I'm using. I have a Quest 3 for VR, and Oculus has a mirror, which has image stabilization and other useful things. And I send that to a secondary PC on a secondary monitor, so I can still click around in ACC on the main monitor. To a secondary PC where I capture it with OBS. Also, my sound is really good with Voicemeeter, Banana. That's a very useful app. So I am rerouting the audio output of ACC and my microphone to the Camlink. Camlink is the capture device. So, for example, I can still go to Discord and decide, like, I can hear Discord, but you cannot, and I can speak to Discord and you cannot. Like, if I will do an endurance race and don't want to stream that. But recently I did a few stream when I just enabled Discord on my stream, so routed that source also. So I am planning to stream a few of our ERA courses, like training courses, to show how it looks like, because they are super fun and super useful. Things like that. How could I lose 2 times there? Jesus. I suck at this track hard. Although I don't know what's the BOP for this Porsche or Bathurst. I would not be surprised if it will be like -20. Because I feel like the car is really struggling on the track. Let me just try the brake bias at 50. Then trying to carry more speed into the corner. Lost 2 times there again. Like how? Aliás, surtout. By the way, the setup is great, I think. At least for me. Maybe a more experienced Bathurst driver would say something else. For me it's really stable and I can push the car. Screw up this corner again. Even more. I have to brake earlier there or more. But the setup is, I think, great. It's stable yet fast. The 3 fast corners at the top of the field are flat out, so that's always a good sign. seconds of damage there? I mean, I barely touched the wall. And that's 4 seconds. Uh-huh. Okay. The car made out of paper foil? I don't think so. Tire life looks okay. Let's try a few more laps. Just maybe. But I think I'm getting tired. Not that tired. But the tire on the wheels tired. Easy on the outlap. Tires are very soft. Unpredictable in the high speed. try even less brake bias. Probably I will die downhill. But if I won't, it would be beneficial. Like, let's try just one quick lesson. See how deadly it is. Because otherwise the car is very stable. It has a few drifts downhill. For example, on this left-hander, the next one was super stable with 50 brake balance. Okay, it's still super stable. I mean, in Porsche terms, there's no such thing as stable Porsche under braking high speed. Non-existent. Not in vocabulary. Let's see the brake bias helps here too. Yeah, a bit. Try even one less. Okay. Oh yeah, it rotates much more nicely now. Hopefully I won't cook my rear tires with this brake bias. And not down here. Not even close. Very good. By the way, if you want a scary experience, try this top hill part in VR with the battery. And that is scary. Like having the wall few centimeters from your head at the right. It's like near-death experience. We are getting slight fishtailing during hard braking. Probably the brake bias is at the limit. Anyway, let's try one less. That bump at the exit really killed my exit speed. even one less. Just for the sake of it. So far 49.6 was, I think, the sweet spot. So we should not forget that I drove out half of the tank already. Alright, let's save it is 49.6 and I think I call it a day. I'm getting tired. Oh, thank you everyone who joined in for tonight. I hope you got some useful information. Just making the setup for the footer session. A normal session. I hope there's 5-2. Yeah, so I call it a day. Just have to make a few better laps with this setup. Probably someone tomorrow. A low 201 would be great, but I just don't know where I can find time except this last corner, which is super hard to nail somehow. But let's see. So thank you everyone and have a good night. See ya.